No Ordinary Thursday by Anoop Judge. Performed by Deepa Samuel. Chapter 1. Sameer's laugh sounded like a trapped wasp, like he was always just a moment away from breaking. An offhand comment by one of his drinking buddies, an unintentional truth that hit too close to home could do it. And yet, in this bar, just around the corner from his low-paying job, the beers came and the beers went, and aside from a nagging feeling that there was somewhere else he should be, Veer Sharma was having a great night. Then he saw her. Sameer was still in his blue pinstripe suit and tie, now crumpled from the day, while she was in a short red dress. They had shared dozens of lunches and hours of idle chit-chat on quiet afternoons, during which he had learned that she drank a cup of bone broth every day for healthy skin, and was a spelling bee winner, made it to state finals, then choked on the word obituary. Yet he had never seen her in anything other than her trademark pearl blouse and light gray office slacks. The moment had an element of wish fulfillment. "Ruchi," he called out, sobering as his coworker's gaze found him. She came over, halting as her wide brown eyes and lashes swept disapprovingly over his drinking pals. The men became alert, looking up from their drinks. All of them were from other departments in the towering office block, where Sameer and Ruchi both worked selling roadside assistance policies. They were older men in more responsible positions, where policies were made, rather than merely sold. Men who should be home with wives and children, instead of joining Sameer on his regular binge. Sameer's fists formed tight balls, and his mouth set in a thin line. "Wipe the drool from your faces, fellas." "Are you meeting someone?" he asked, trying to keep his tone even in the noisy bar. "I was meeting some girlfriends," she replied, her mouth pursing. Sameer tipped his head toward her in what he hoped was a sympathetic, engaging manner, while trying to keep the glee from his eyes. "But they've all let me down. What a waste of a night, huh?" "You could—" Sameer gestured to an empty seat, but the politely remote look on Ruchi's face stopped him from finishing the suggestion. "I'll head home. Cut my losses, I think." Sameer got to his feet, almost tripping over the legs of one of his companions. "Let me give you a ride," he said. Ruchi pinned him with a narrow stare. "But you've been—" "Just a couple." Sameer lied easily. They had worked together for months. When would this opportunity come again, if ever? Behind Sameer, one of his drinking buddies snickered. Either Ruchi didn't hear, or assumed it was one of those private jokes that people share. "Okay." Her voice wavered with hesitation. Once outside in the cold night air, Ruchi seemed to relax a little. "How do you know those men?" she asked. "Oh, I don't really." Sameer kicked at the loose concrete on the sidewalk. "They're just, guys from work." "Upstairs?" Ruchi asked with a raised eyebrow, using the blanket term for anyone above gopher level, their level, where they spent their days in a tiny cubicle with a headset on. It was one of those companies where the floor on which you worked denoted your career progression. "Yeah." "You looking for a promotion?" Ruchi joked. "I'd miss you, you know." "Haha." Sameer laughed. "Me? A promotion? You must know by now I'm the least likely person to get a promotion." "Brown noser," she teased. "Your drinking buddies there are so old, you could be the son one of them never had or something." As soon as she had said the words, Sameer could see that Ruchi regretted them. If there was one thing she seemed to have quickly understood when getting to know Sameer, it was that discussions about family led rapidly to an awkward silence. It almost did again, but Sameer jumped in before the awkwardness could settle. "I'm sorry your friends let you down." "We planned it at the end of yesterday," Ruchi said. "That's why I brought a change of clothes with me." "You look nice." He sucked in his breath, regretting speaking. "It happens, I guess," Ruchi continued, as if he hadn't given the compliment.